Ki Teztei. When you go out to war against the enemy, Hashem will deliver him into your hands. Who's the enemy? What was it? We got it, the Yetzer Hara. You're in a fight, any challenge, it could be even your kid. Don't forget them. Anytime you're up against something, Hashem will be with you, whether it's the internal or the external. Moving right along, because we go very quickly in this parsha here. It goes from you go out to war. Then the guy meets this Isha Yifas Toar. Of course, he really never felt anything for her, and it shows later on. But of course, what happens? She becomes the hated wife, and they give birth to this child who gets twice as much. And I want you to know this is very interesting. It's called, she gets Reshit Oh No, which translates directly into his initial vigor, Reshit Oh No. But I like to think about as the first person, the first kid who says, oh no to you. Remember the kids used to say, oh no, can you do this? Oh no, oh yeah, oh no. So it's the first, your oldest child is usually the hardest, obviously gets twice as much. We all know that about toast, never comes out right the first time. Someone says, I'm still scraping off the ashes from my first kid. But anyway, the point is that it's a progression. And what ends up happening, it also says that the parents have to speak what happened. The parents, the father, the child did not listen to the father and did not listen to the mother. Why? It's emphasizing that this father and mother were not on the same page. Very important in parenting to be on the same page, present a united front. Okay? Also, it says, Ki Teztei l'melchama. It says when there's unity. That's why it uses the word Teztei l'melchama in the individual, because it is unity. Whenever there's unity, whether it's among Klal Yisrael, whether it's among family, you'll be successful among the enemy. And then it says it takes the woman, this Ishas Yifas Torah, 30 days to mourn her parents, to forget the idols, whatever. It teaches a life lesson about habits. It takes 30 days to break a habit, 30 days to start a new habit. So we have to know that. Then there's long life in this parsha. How do we have long life? One of the easiest ways ever. Keep it of aim, or go out and find a bird sitting on a nest. If you chase away the bird, and you then take the eggs, then you are allowed to do that. Now, some of us have had the schus to do it. I know Lori once saw a bird on Central Avenue, the nest. I had it in Ramat Eshkol. Up on a high fence, there was a bird, of course, not one to give up. I climbed up on the fence, took a ladder, and of course, it was almost instead of prolonging your life, but I was determined. And that bird would not leave. It shows that the nature of a mother is to be protective and to watch over. We took a branch, then we took a broom, and I was shaking that broom, and my little grandchildren are looking up and thinking, like, what is she doing, Yumi? And I think since then they developed this fear of birds. But it's really from the outside.
Keep it of an aim will give you your akrichas.
Right, amen. So it's keep it of an aim, but there's one more thing in this parsha that says keep it of an aim. Does anyone know what it is? Weights and measures. You know, in the old days, they used to use the stones and measure, and you used a special stone. If you don't shave the stone, if you make sure that you're always honest with the stones and the measures, you get arichas yom. And those are the only 3 times that it uses that language. The bird, the parents, and that. So you say, what is this? It's so easy. I don't have to, I just take an honest weight, or I take this broom and I shake it against the bird. It's all about, we don't know the value of a mitzvah. We don't know which is worth more and which is worth less in God's eyes. As it says in Pirkei Avos, you don't know which is, don't let any mitzvah be light in your eyes, whether you do this or you do this. And it's very important to realize all about compassion, to care, because the bird doesn't know really. Sometimes we take that bird at a later date and shoot it and eat it, or whatever. We're allowed to eat animals. It's all about compassion. But there's one time you're not allowed to be compassionate, and that's at the end of the parsha. What is it? Amalek. We have to place compassion in the right way. That's why at the end of this parsha, with all the things that it talks about, honesty in this parsha, integrity, weights, put a fence around your house. Don't take money when you lend things. Help others when they're asked. Return Hashavas Aveda. There's a whole plow there. And the last thing I'll say, because compassion cannot be misplaced. And then there's the part about the ox and the donkey. You can't harness them together to work, and I love this one. Why not? Because the ox chews its cud. So what? Because when the donkey is looking at that ox and thinking, this guy's going,
make sure you get that.
It gets so jealous and envious and saying, what's he eating all this time for? I'm working just as hard as me. What's going on here? But it's only about perception, because they both ate the same. It's that the ox chews its cud. And a lot of times in life we're jealous. We think, what does that person have? what are they doing? Why are they so lucky? But it's only perception. Everything is uniquely made for us in life. So we should look at the other person and feel good for them. Last week we were smiling. This week we use nice words. That's why in this parsha it's about vows. When you say a vow, you have to keep it. Better not to make a vow, it says. To keep it, your words are powerful. So use your words this week to compliment. Remember, in this week's parsha, I'll end with this. It says, Zachar es asher asa leMiriam b'tzeis Mitzrayim. Why? Because she spoke Lashon Hara. But she's forever, in perpetuity, the person that we could think of, that we could emulate and say, and you do it in a very subtle way, not Lashon Hara. Okay, so this is what we have to always remember, and we have to go on doing the right thing, and we have to take all these other things that are in the Parsha. There are lots of laws, lots of beautiful lessons to learn, and that's our goal, to be able to achieve and have long life anyway.
Amen.